The secret to happiness is mastering your mind so that it always thinks right. And this is a quote from Marcus Aurelius, who was an emperor of Rome, and he's known today for his Stoic philosophy. He wrote a book called Meditations. This book contains his personal notes and thoughts and ideas about how to live a good life and be a good person. Now, most people don't realize that they're just slaves to their emotions and their minds. And if you can master your mind, then you will be happy, because our minds are the ones that control our actions. But if our minds are all over the place, if we're thinking negative thoughts, if we're full of envy, anger, and resentment and greed, then you will never achieve what you're capable of achieving. You will never be happy. And one thing I love about Marcus Aurelius is that he realized this. And this book, Meditations, was like his diary. It was his way of helping himself. And he was very honest. He would write down things that he needed to do better. He would write down reminders for himself. So in this video, we now go through some of those reminders, and I am going to share 8 quotes from Marcus Aurelius that you need to write down. These are great reminders that will help you master your mind. Let's go ahead and jump into it. 1. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Just be one. Don't argue. Don't discuss what is right and wrong. Just be right. Now, we've all had those friends where we arguing with them and we trying to show them why they wrong, why they shouldn't do something. But what's the point? If someone refuses to see the light, there's nothing you can do about it. That's why Marcus Aurelius says, stop wasting time arguing with people. You can't change their minds. You can only control your own behavior. So don't waste time telling others what to do or trying to convince them to believe in something. Do what you think is right and focus on doing that right now. 2. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Now, let me repeat that again. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. What are you thinking about right now? Are you thinking about all the things you have to do? All the things you have to do are not important. You can cross that bridge when you get there. For now, focus on what you're doing right now and focus on thinking good thoughts. Focus on thinking thoughts that make you feel good. 3. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize that everything that happens in your life, everything that is going to happen in your life, does not depend on other people. It doesn't even depend on the world around you. It depends on the way you interpret these things. Remember that you have power over your mind, not outside events. And this is a very powerful statement because it gives you control back. You know, too often we blame other people for our problems. We say, oh, this person did this, so I had to do that. Or this event happened, so I reacted in this way. But really, it wasn't that thing that caused you to do something. It was your interpretation of that thing that caused you to act in a certain way. So take control back. Know that you're responsible for your actions and that you can choose how you react to anything. If you're enjoying this video so far, please hit the like button. 4. When you rise in the morning, think of the privilege of merely being alive. And here's something I love about Marcus Aurelius. He says, when you rise in the morning, think of the privilege of merely being alive. But also, he says, when you go to sleep at night, think of the privilege of merely being alive. He reminds himself every day, when you wake up, when you go to sleep, to think of how lucky you are to be alive. And I think this is great because when you wake up in the morning, you think, okay, I have to go to work. I have to get this done. I have to take care of my kids. And you start making this list of all the things you have to do. But stop for a second and remember that you're alive. Think about all the people that didn't make it till sunrise. Think of how many millions of people die every year. And you were chosen to be here. And when you go to bed at night, remember, you made it another day. Be grateful. Think of how lucky you are to be alive. 5. Nothing happens to any man which he is not formed by nature to bear. All things come to him in such measure as he can endure them. Marcus Aurelius says no matter what happens in your life, no matter how bad things get, you can handle it. Everything happens in moderation. You will never be overwhelmed. You are strong enough to handle whatever comes your way. Don't ever doubt that. And this is a reminder for myself, too. There's times where I think, man, I don't know if I can handle this. I don't know if I can handle the pressure of the situation. But then I remind myself, I'm stronger than I think I am. And I know that whatever I'm facing, I can handle it. 6. Very little of what we do is actually up to us. A lot of things are just out of our control. And here's the key. Marcus Aurelius reminds himself of this. He says, very little of what we do is actually up to us. A lot of things are just out of our control. And this is a great way to look at life because we spend a lot of time worrying about things that we can't control. worrying about things that are out of our hands. And if we can separate the things that are up to us from the things that are not up to us, and we can focus our energy on the things that are up to us, then we will have much less stress in our lives. You know, I worry a lot. I used to worry a lot. But I've learned to worry less because I realized that most things are just out of my control. And when I find myself worrying about something, I ask myself, is this up to me? And if the answer is no, then I try to stop worrying about it. No. 7. Our life is what our thoughts make it. You've probably heard the phrase your life is what you make it, and this is similar to that. But I like this version because it puts even more emphasis on your thoughts. It's not your circumstances. It's not the people around you. It's your thoughts that determine your life. So control your thoughts and make your life what you want it to be. You know, I love this quote because it reminds me that I have the power to change my life. It's not my circumstances. It's not the people around me. It's my thoughts that determine my future. So if I'm unhappy, it's not because of my life. It's because of the way I'm thinking about my life. So control your thoughts and make your life what you want it to be. No. 8. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the action. This is a great quote, especially for people who are dealing with injustice or who have been wronged by someone. Marcus Aurelius says the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the action. So don't stoop to his level. Don't do something you wouldn't normally do just because you're angry. Don't take the low road. Instead, be better than he is. And this is actually a way to make yourself feel better. You know, I've been in situations where I felt like I wanted to do something bad. I wanted to do something that I knew would hurt someone. But I didn't do it. And I'm glad I didn't do it because taking the high road made me feel better. It made me feel like I'm the bigger person. And that's the best way to deal with people who have wronged you. Be better than them. Don't stoop to their level. So these are 8 quotes from Marcus Aurelius that will help you master your mind. And if you want to learn more about Stoic philosophy, I've got 2 more videos for you. The first one is 5 life lessons from the Stoics, and the second one is how to be a Stoic in 2023. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Marcus Aurelius' teaching Master Your Mind embodies one of the core principles of Stoic philosophy. True power lies within our own thoughts, judgments, and attitudes, not in external events. This concept is rooted in the Stoic belief that while we cannot control what happens to us, we can control how we interpret and respond to those events. To master your mind means to develop sovereignty over your inner world, recognizing that emotions, fears, and desires often arise from mistaken judgments rather than objective reality. For Marcus Aurelius, the mind is a fortress that should remain unshaken by external chaos. He argues that suffering is not caused by the events themselves, but by the opinions we form about them. Therefore, if we learn to govern our thoughts, we achieve freedom and tranquility even in adversity. He argues that suffering is not caused by the events themselves, but by the opinions we form about them. Therefore, if we learn to govern our thoughts, we achieve freedom and tranquility even in adversity. He argues that suffering is not caused by the events themselves, but by the opinions we form about them. Therefore, if we learn to govern our thoughts, we achieve freedom and tranquility even in adversity. He argues that suffering is not caused by the events themselves, but by the opinions we form about them. Therefore, if we learn to govern our thoughts, we achieve freedom and tranquility even in adversity.